Hello, I'm Michael Dutton, and I want to thank you for joining me in this, the 11th part of my series, Exploring the Depth of Short Prayers. Today we're going to discuss another healing prayer that specifically deals with the name of God. It is in my edition of the Baha'i Prayer Book, under the healing section, the third prayer. Glory be to thee, O Lord my God. I implore thee by thy name, through which thou didst lift up the ensigns of thy guidance, and didst shed the radiance of thy loving kindness, and didst reveal the sovereignty of thy lordship, through which the lamp of thy names hath appeared within the niche of thine attributes. And he who is the tabernacle of thy unity, and the manifestation of detachment hath shone forth, through which the ways of thy guidance were made known, and the paths of thy good pleasure were marked out, through which the foundations of error have been made to tremble, and the signs of wickedness have been abolished, through which the fountains of wisdom have burst forth, and the heavenly table hath been sent down, through which thou didst preserve thy servants, and didst vouchsafe thy healings, through which thou didst show forth thy tender mercies unto thy servants, and revealedst thy forgiveness amidst thy creatures. I implore thee to keep safe him who hath held fast and returned unto thee, and clung to thy mercy, and seized the hem of thy loving providence. Send down then upon him thy healing, and make him whole, and endue him with a constancy vouchsafed by thee, in a tranquility bestowed by thy highness. Thou art verily the healer, the preserver, the helper, the almighty, the powerful, the all-glorious, the all-knowing. Well, just for the first half of this prayer, I implore thee by thy name through which thou didst. And then it lists all of these things that just the name of God can do, through which the foundations of error have been made to tremble, and the signs of wickedness have been abolished. I think this further reinforces the need for us to study the power of just the name of God. But with this prayer, I'm thinking we're talking about three types of healing: the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional. Okay. Through which thou didst show forth thy tender mercies unto thy servants. Okay, is that spiritual healing? Is that emotional healing? Not sure it's physical healing, but it strikes me as it could be both of these, or one or the other. What do you think? No, really, I mean, look at it. What does this do? And to reveal this thy forgiveness amidst thy creatures. Well, that's spiritual healing, forgiveness, but it's also emotional healing. How often do we berate ourselves for things we have done in the past and not forgive ourselves? This is interesting, because if God's forgiven us, who are we to hold it against us? Or, in another sense of looking at it, if someone has wronged you and they've prayed for God's forgiveness and God has forgiven them, who are you to not forgive them? That's, one reason we should be quick to forgive other people for their transgressions, their missteps, because it doesn't do us any good to hold on to that anger, to that sense of hurt, emotionally or spiritually. That doesn't help us, and very probably not physically. Just look for it in your own lives. People who never forgive, are they happy? Are they healthy? Do you want to be happy and healthy? Perhaps, you know. So this is something I want us to look at. So, to show forth thy tender mercies unto thy servants, and reveal this thy forgiveness amidst thy creatures. And I implore thee to keep safe him who hath held fast and returned unto thee, and clung to thy mercy. Well, if you're clinging to mercy, that's probably more spiritual healing than emotional. But it's also emotional. You know, we need to realize when we pray, we pray for physical healing. And we pray for spiritual healing. But how often do we pray for emotional healing? Sort of, God, please lift this burden of anxiety from me. Give me a chance to smile. Let me see the good things in my life. That's something we need to look at, because physically, none of us are going to be completely cured, because all of us are going to die. The physical death is an inevitability. So, since we know we're going to physically die, maybe we should look more toward the emotional and the spiritual healing. Not so much that we're looking to hasten the physical death, but we want to enhance our spiritual life and our emotional life, because I think those two are very strongly related, if not the same thing. So, just look into that. Look at prayers and see how God is saying, yes, He can solve our physical ills, but we should really look for Him to help us with our emotional ills. So go through this prayer. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments below. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. That would be even better. And join me for the next one, which will be the 12th edition of Exploring the Depth of Short Prayers, because that will really culminate the name of God prayers that I want to look at. It's also going to be one of our shortest prayers. So, looking forward to see you then. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at the next one. Thank you and goodbye.